Time now to kick back just a bit and travel with us into the wilderness as staff members haul their otter sleds into a small lake stocked with brook trout, arguably the most beautiful fish to come through an ice hole.
Now, Gord, lake like this, stock trout lake, I think, people think trout, they think deep water, but where do you set up?
Well, it's interesting, Doug. We've come down this hill, and visually, all you've got to do is look. So we know that this is pretty steep here. Right. And usually in the wintertime, they like more of a gradual to a flat. So as a general rule, these steeper sides aren't as good as that flatter side over there. Okay. So we'll go across. And the other thing that, as you know, these are river fish by and large, rainbow trout, cutthroats, brookies. And so they never lose that river characteristic, and they love being able to come along shore. They love fallen trees. And as a general rule, they're reasonably shallow in that kind of 10, 12 foot and shallower, right up to shore. And
so often just following the shoreline.
Exactly. So then, if you can find a point, something that's sticking out over there that might concentrate them, cause them to mill about, or maybe some weeds where there's minnows, structure and cover, it never leaves the equation.
And I think everybody probably understands the tip-up and how that's been rigged, but let's just show them your terminal rigging. The 6-pound test line.
It's just a 6-pound, in this case, 6-pound test leader. A year ago when we were in here and we were catching those 14, 16 inchers, I'd have probably gone to a 3 to 4 pound leader, but now we know we got these big fish. A 6-pound test leader, and that's about 2 to 3 feet. It really doesn't matter. And one of the neat things I think is neat anyway, I always put some split shot about a foot or so up from the hook. And I always like for trout, always like having pink and chartreuse. This happens to be a Gamakatsu octopus walleye hook. And then just a little bead there. And again, I like either fluorescent orange or a red or a chartreuse, just a little bit of attraction. And then the real key, at least I think it's the real key, is here. We get a minnow, and most folks would hook that through the lips. But for trout, and actually anytime I'd be doing this, what I like to do is actually hook it just through the back here, ever so gently, and the fish will swim all day now. And the neat thing, look, it's swimming away there like crazy. This creates the anchor, and with that minnow comes up and the split shot pull it back. And it's just such a great attraction for the trout. And then people will look at this and say, why the heavy Dacron line here? That's just for throwing out on the ice. It makes it so easy to handle in cold weather out on, never tangles. It's just a fairly thick Berkeley braid. And I know Doug was saying he had this about 2 to 3 feet off the bottom. We're in about 8, 9 feet here. And if you're ever going to err setting it up, always err, because the trout are coming through just like northerns, everything else. They're coming through and they're looking for things just above them, either on site or just above them. So 3 feet that's just absolutely perfect. Oh, there's tip up. There we go. There we go. Don't want to break them off? No.
Let's see if I can. I can't quite get them turned at the hole there. Here, maybe. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Oh, see him? There he comes. It's a big female.
Oh, beauty. Big female is right.
Oh, man, there we go. Look at this. Stocky, what a beautiful, solid fish. Well, do you want to get your camera?
I do, Douglas.
And I'd say 2 1/4. I would too. You get some 2 1/4. Beautiful fish. And we can actually, catch and release is one thing, but in these stock lakes, you can keep a few, right?
Absolutely, and they don't spawn, Doug.
Right.
That is the limiting characteristic in these. And you know what? That's part of the reason why it's so large. I mean, hasn't been easy fishing today.
No.
But we know that they're big fish. And one of the keys, if we'd have come last year, these fish have been in here now, this one, for 2 years, and it was a year old. So that's about a 3 to 4 year old fish.
Yeah.
And if you come the first year, it's plenty of action.
Yeah.
And we specifically came this year for these larger fish. There's some in here right now that'll go close to 4 or better than 4.
Oh, wow.
So it's a numbers game versus the big size.
Well, I probably only caught 2 or 3 brook trout in open water that are bigger than that one right there.
That's a trophy.
Yeah.
No question.